I was riding on the city bus, and we were at a stoplight, and I just happened to look over and see this fool texting while driving. What is it about texting and driving? Why can't you wait till you get to your destination? What is the rush? I don't get it. Do you know how many people are killed in accidents because people are texting and doing other things while driving? What's going on? Back in the day, 10 years or 15 years ago, honey, people waited until they got home and made those phone calls, if at all. And they're not talking about anything. You're not saying anything. Okay, if your child is sick at school, I get it. But even then, you can pull off to the side of the road and not endanger anybody else. Honey, you need to get a grip. Too much going on, honey. I wanted to get off that bus and slap that fool, but I didn't. I held back because I had a destination to get to myself. But honey, that's just my dish. Okay? Now to the drama. Well, actually, it's your drama. Someone wrote me, honey, she has a neighbor who's working her nerves. My neighbor is always borrowing things and never returning them. She's borrowed my iron, blow dryer, milk, sugar, money, etc. Well, honey, do you have anything left in the house? She's a nice girl, and she's always alone in the city. I know she doesn't have much money as she is a college student. I sympathize with her as I too was once away at college surviving on ramen noodles and Snickers while holding down a job as a waitress. I don't want to hurt her feelings, but I recently had my hours cut at work and can't afford to replace everything she borrows. And I sometimes feel used. Please help. Okay, honey, you are being used. Yes, you are, dear. Because let me tell you something. She sounds like Shaquanda Jackson in the Murphy houses in the Bronx, in the South Bronx, that is. Honey, she used to borrow so much from us, it was ridiculous. Everything she would borrow. Soup, roach spray. Can you imagine borrowing roach spray, honey? If I'm spraying the roaches and sending them downstairs to you, why would I give you the roach spray to send them back up to me? It didn't make sense. But you need to nip this in the bud, honey, because this woman is a user. She's a freeloader. She's a vampire and a leech. Did you get all of that, honey? Take some notes. She is all of those things, honey, and you cannot afford to subsidize her. What you need to tell her to do is go down to Human Resources, aka the Welfare Department, and apply for food stamps. Yes, she can do that, honey. She's a college student. Let her go and apply for food stamps and tell her no. Learn to say no. I know it's a simple word, but some of us have the hardest time using it. Tell her no, honey. No more free food, no more cash, no more nothing, okay? Get her up off of you, honey, because she will run you raggedy in the, honey, she'll just run you in the ground. I've seen it before. Honey, you'll be in the shelter, honey, and she'll be going upstairs borrowing from somebody else. Look out for yourself, honey, and tell Miss Thing no. And if you need to, go on down to the welfare department and get her an application and slip it under her door. How about that? Okay? Okay. No. So much drama out here, honey. Now, this is a relationship question. I need some advice. Demyse, I'm so glad you're here. So am I, honey. You know I'm always here for you. So glad to be here. Yes, truly, honey, I'm always here. 24/7, honey, but don't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, okay? My boyfriend just bought me a ring and asked if I would like to move into his apartment. Then he wants to get a civil union. The problem is that we've only been dating 3 weeks as of Friday. What do I do? Okay, honey. Well, the fact that you're writing to me about this means you don't feel comfortable with it. So I'm going to tell you, you need to speak on it, honey. Don't sit there and let him push you into something that you do not want. Now, as gay marriage becomes more prevalent, gay people are finding out what straight people have been going through for years, being pushed into marriages and relationships that they didn't want to be in. Honey, it happens all the time. I could tell you stories, honey. I was dating this professor, honey, and he got married, and I asked him why he married the wife. They got divorced in 5 years, and he said, I never wanted to marry her. When we moved in together, she just started planning the wedding. And I said to myself, well, why wouldn't he say anything? But I did eventually ask him that, and he said, because every time I asked her, she started crying. Well, honey, I left him alone, honey, because he was too weak for me. But I do digress. But back to you, honey. You need to speak on this. Take him out to dinner in a nice public place and tell him, we're going too fast. Let's slow it down. And if he gets angry about it, honey, maybe you just need to step off. That's all. Because this is your life, honey. Yes, you two are in this relationship, but this is your life. Don't you ever, and I do mean ever. Do you hear what I said? I said never let anybody force you into something that you don't want or you're not ready for, honey. If you don't want to move in with that man, don't move in with him. If you're not ready for a serious relationship or a civil union, tell him so. And if he can't deal with it, honey, then you may have to move on. If he really loves you, he'll understand and take it slower. Okay? Okay. Now, if you have any drama, and I mean anybody has any drama, honey, you write to me at dishingwithdemyse.com, honey. And for those of you who are hooked on phonics, did I say hooked? I meant hooked. Sometimes I speak ebonics. Hooked on phonics or speak ebonics, it is dishing, dishingwithdemyse.com. Okay, dishingwithdemyse.com. Okay, bye, honey. Did they give me water, honey?